And speaking of things I hate, this week the new Sigma BF camera was unveiled, and I feel like that the brand wants it to flop on purpose. So it's a new mirrorless full-frame camera, but it looks as though that it was made by Apple, as in they claim that it's the first aluminium unibody camera in the world, and they've also removed every feature that photographers would typically enjoy. Actually, the first of those statements is a lie. It's not actually the first unibody aluminium camera, because that was the Leica T from 2014, which was a very similar offering because it too removed most of the controls and dials that photographers favored in favor of a touchscreen. And you know what? That camera was an absolute flop because photographers want physical controls and Apple fans, well, they've got their iPhones. Anyway, just to rant a little bit further, this is a new camera that doesn't have a hot shoe, it doesn't have a mechanical shutter, it doesn't have a card slot instead of relying on internal memory, it doesn't have a mic jack, a headphone jack, and every time you want to change a control, you have to cycle through the control menu to the one that you want before then adjusting it with a haptic feedback dial. It sounds like a complete nightmare to use, and that's not even mentioning the horrible ergonomics. But you know what? It's probably going to be fine because apparently they can only make 9 of them a day, which should mean that there will be less than 2,000 at launch. So I guess the lack of sales doesn't really matter. About this, Dean says, "That's okay, no one's going to buy one anyway." TK meanwhile says, "I wish that the bold design and creative thought didn't have to come at the expense of functionality or utility." And Scooty Scoot says, "This camera is aimed squarely at folks with a bunch of money who want something to sit on the shelf 99% of the time." I'm afraid that also applies to most Fuji X100 owners.